Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are we all doing? So today's video, I wanted to come on and discuss cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. Now this is something that I've been going through, a course that I've been taking over the past 7 weeks now. Over on my Instagram account, I asked if people wanted me to just come on and talk through kind of how it's helped and what we were doing in those lessons. And the majority of people said they would like a dedicated video talking about kind of everything to do with CBT. So that is what I'm going to come on and discuss today. Now this is all my own opinions. I am no expert in therapy. I am not kind of someone that knows all the ins and outs. I believe that everyone that takes CBT might get a different outcome, might take a different path, but I can only base this on kind of what I've been going through over the past 7 weeks and really kind of the outcome that has happened for me personally. So if someone feels like it's not the same situation that they went through or they've heard different, obviously this is just my own personal opinion. This is not kind of exactly how everyone would kind of go through CBT. So CBT is cognitive behavior therapy. For me personally, I chose to do this because over the past kind of 3 years, being in this industry and social media, I've really realized things about myself that I was struggling with. I have had dark times myself, I've been depressed, and I always kind of pushed it to the back of my mind. I always felt like it was something that I could just deal with myself, kind of come out the other end, dealing with everything myself, putting all those pressures on me. And I do have an amazing support around me. I have amazing friends, I have amazing family. So I always felt like it was something that I could just deal with myself and I didn't need help from someone that I didn't know. And I've never kind of turned my nose up at therapy because I have a lot of friends that do it and they talk about how much it helps. But I just chose to not take that path of trying it until recently. So it was kind of last year when I realized that it really was affecting my life, it was affecting my job. And we're gonna I've got no kind of path or way that this video is going to go. I'm just openly free talking. But I want to talk about first of all why I felt like I needed to go for CBT, just in case any of you are relating to this similar, I'm not going to say symptoms, but similar feelings and stuff, and then may feel like this is the right path for you to go and give it a go yourself. But for me personally, it was, I have to sometimes stand up on stage in this job and talk about my career or myself or different things, and I really felt like my anxiety was taking over. And I'm quite a confident person in so many ways, but when it was coming to pressures, and we'll get to this point a little bit later, but the thought of trying to be perfect, it created such an anxiety inside of me that really ate me up. And I would get the worst trembles and shakes, which obviously then you feel nervous and embarrassed that people can see that. So it makes the whole situation worse. I apologize, by the way. I came over to my friend's studio to film this to try and get out the way, and there's builders next door. So it actually made it 10 times worse. So I apologize if you hear any banging. Other situations is my love life. This is something I've not really spoke about on this channel for a long time. I used to speak about it a lot. My love life kind of never existed. I wouldn't let anyone in. I didn't know the reasons why I couldn't let someone in. And I felt like it was time to really get to the bottom of that and find out reasons of why I was kind of pushing people away and not letting anyone in. Like another example, say for instance, if a friend invited me to a house party, I'd need to know the layout, I'd need to know who's going, I'd need to know, and I'd need reassurance that they're fine with me coming. Like, are you sure it's fine for me to come? Are you sure no one doesn't want me to come? And yeah, it was getting to the point where it was stopping me going out to certain situations. It was stopping me wanting to meet new people. It was stopping me progressing in my career because of this anxiety taking over. And when I feel like something like that is affecting your future and your life, I feel like maybe it is time to speak up and get help. And as I said, I've never turned my nose up at it, but I definitely felt like I could just put this all on myself. And I realized that it was time to accept that I couldn't do it myself. And I think what I've learned over doing the CBT is, if you do have an amazing friendship support, family support around you, it's kind of people that know you. So sometimes when you hear information or advice from people that you know, it does, not on purpose, go in one ear and out through the other, because you think like, yeah, like fine, thanks, thanks for the advice. I'm gonna go and make the same mistakes. But when you see a therapist. It might be just normal therapy or CBT. Even though it's a person that doesn't know you, they are there to listen to your problems, to your needs, to everything that you want to discuss. And what I found kind of doing CBT was I went through the NHS, which is completely free. So if you do go to your doctor, I don't know if everyone in obviously every country is going to be the same. So again, obviously only basing this on me, my situation and where I am in the UK. But I went to the doctor and just said that I was getting the shakes, I had anxiety, my kind of depression had kind of rose and then got back down again. And I just said that I felt like I needed to see someone, and they recommended CBT. Now, if you are going through your doctor, for me personally, I had to wait 3 months on a waiting list to be put kind of to the top of the list to then see someone. If you do want to go through the NHS route, you might have to wait a little while. I know that when I put this out on Instagram, some people said they've waited even longer than 3 months. But I would say it's definitely worth the wait. If you want to go private, that's only if you can afford it. For me personally, I didn't want to invest my money into that. I wish I could, if I did go back, I would invest money into it because it was investing money into myself and my future and career. You could go privately and you'd probably get in a lot sooner. So yeah, I waited for 3 months. I kind of forgot about it and tried to just do self-development myself and work on myself personally until then I could see someone. It is a bit of a shame because my experience is probably a lot different to what many of other people, if they've done it before or what they will do in the future, because as we're in a lockdown here, I wasn't able to go in and see the therapist. I had to do it all over Zoom. I still made such leaps and bounds in changes in myself. So even doing it on Zoom, it was so well worth it, and I would not turn back the clock at all because it was the best experience I've ever done. Now, to kind of get into the CBT, what it is for is it is to do with kind of your anxiety. It's to do with not necessarily, this is what they kind of had to explain to me. It's not necessarily looking totally back on your past. If you've had something happen in your past that's kind of put a brick wall up, or something that's so bad that's happened that it's stopping you doing something, or it's creating this anxiety. They don't necessarily go back on the past and reflect on that. They do, in one of the sessions that I did, touch base on it, but it's more about how you can move forward. It's more about kind of learning on what are the things and issues and problems that are causing this and moving forward with them. Because a really good line that she said to me is, going away and doing breathing techniques, going away and trying to add more into your life to make you better is gonna be a quick help, because you're probably not gonna do that for the rest of your life. So it's better to work out how you currently live and try and work out how these things can be fixed, but still easily fitted into your daily life that you are already in. So it's not creating another stress on top of what you're already being stressed about, if that makes sense. So for me, I was like, I always wanted the quick fix. I'm normally quite someone who wants to rush and like, how can you fix me now? Like there's a magic drug that just fixes you. And obviously that doesn't exist. If it did, we would all be a hell of a lot more happier than what we can be at certain times. And yet with mental health, the way it is at the moment, I chose to take the path, give it a chance. You've got nothing to lose. It's all self-development. It's all going to be better for yourself and to be the best version of yourself. So the Zooms that we did, I didn't want to film any of the sessions because they are personal to me or to you. They are something that you need to fully focus on. It wasn't intentional to be a part of a YouTube video. It was something I was doing for myself, and I felt like instead of caring about cameras being set up, what I was saying in front of the cameras, it was something I needed to switch off to. You have to take yourself away to a quiet place and just focus on that call or that meeting for yourself and your own personal movement in life. So kind of, it's a weird one because I haven't really structured this in what we did. It really, for me, was my own personal experience was working out things myself. When you talk to someone that isn't a part of your life, they have no judgment on you. Obviously, you really do have to open up to a therapist. You have to tell them everything. And there's no past of judgment there. Everything is private and confidential. So whatever you say, they just give their own opinion and they're just trying to help you. And it goes kind of no further after that call. I broke things down in my love life. I broke things down in my career. And for me, what I really realized is, and to anyone who's watched previous videos before, hopefully you will see a change over kind of the future now in myself, because mine was the word perfect. That was the word that always popped up in my therapy sessions. It was trying to find the perfect partner. It was trying to do the perfect YouTube video. It was on stories on Instagram, a 15-second story just saying, hey guys, how's everyone's day going? Doing it 15,000 times, slight over exaggeration, but many a times, because I felt like that wasn't the perfect take. But I think what I've learned is, what is the perfect take? What do people want to see? They want to see the real you. They just want to see the realness, and they want to see the fun, the characteristic parts of yourself. And they're only going to see that when you're just yourself. And the biggest thing that kind of this therapy, the therapist said to me that really kind of sat with me, that has helped massively, is, say you go to a house party, and obviously all this anxiety would kick in because I was thinking, what are people judging of me? What are their opinions of me? Is it good? Is it bad? Do I look good? Is my dress sense good? Does my hair look okay? But what she always said to me was, what does it matter? Like, what does it matter what their opinion means to me? How is that going to change my life? Is it going to do anything bad for me in the future? Obviously, it's nice to know that people like you, or they like what you're wearing and have good opinions of you. But what is the worst outcome? And that was something that I took in every situation. It was going on a date. I would turn down so many dates because I was always thinking about the end of the date. Like, how is this date going to go? Is it going to be awkward? Are we going to have awkward moments? Are we going to run out of things to talk about? So instead, I wouldn't go on the date, or I'd try and get drunk to ease the situation. And she was like, say you go on that date and it does get awkward. So if it doesn't work out, what is the worst that's happened at that situation? So in other words, Carl, what you're doing is you're turning away so many things in your life that could help you, could make you find love, that could progress you, you could have fun in, because you're expecting it to be perfect. And if you're in your head, you think it can't be perfect, you're not doing it. And it was like, when I go on stage, the obviously anxiety kicks in so much that in the past I've had situations where I've gone on stage, I've tried to script everything. So that's why I'm doing this video today, just free for all. No bullet points, no kind of structure to it, just sitting here talking about it, because I would try and script and structure everything I did in life. Now, it's always good to have a to-do list every day, so you know you're feeling like you're accomplishing something and you've achieved something. But when you're trying to script every video, or when you're trying to script something that you don't even know what's going to be like, what situation it's going to be. So if I'm going on stage, you don't know what question Lucy down there is going to ask. You don't know what question the presenter is going to ask. You are going into something that you don't even know what's coming, but you're trying to script it. So when it goes off path, you're like, oh, hang on a minute, my brain didn't prepare for this. So then the only thing at the end of it is you're going to feel disappointed because it didn't go to plan of what you'd scripted, if that kind of makes sense. So my thing was, instead of going into situations, scripting it, trying to create the perfect scenario, it's just going into it and having fun and being a bit more free and enjoying the situations. Because what is the point of doing something? What's the point of going on dates if you don't enjoy them? What's the point of falling in love if that's not what you want? What's the point of doing a job if you don't enjoy it? So I was kind of taking the enjoyment out of everything I was doing, because it was so much pressure on myself to be the perfect version, to get the perfect take, to have the perfect night, to have the perfect date, all of these things. So it was like a constant structure to life. So I actually only did the CBT for 7 weeks. Normally you could go for 10 weeks, it could be 15 weeks. It isn't something normally you carry on consistently like normal therapy. Normal therapy, you can do it for years, you can do it your whole life. This is something that's more of like a course, and it's about taking you on the course, taking you on a journey, and when you feel like you're ready to go into the world, a brand new person, then you finish. And you could continue in therapy if you want. For me, I did 7 sessions because I felt like I got enough out of the situation that we were in, which was doing Zoom calls and not being able to go in to actually see someone. And I felt like I was ready to kind of take things on myself and to give it a go myself. Now, obviously, I've not been able to fully test all the situations yet because we're not allowed to go out. I'm not going to events at the minute. I'm not kind of meeting loads of new people. Well, I'm not meeting anyone because we're not allowed out the house. So I haven't really been able to put everything to the test. However, there has definitely been a change for me over the past kind of couple of weeks since doing it, where I've been going on dating apps and continuing conversations with people, whereas before I would get scared off of the next steps. I've been a bit more free on my social media. My stories, I've just posted kind of what came out my mouth. On my videos, I've just been doing one takes rather than, like, I would film a haul video, like a fashion haul, and I would film it 4 times all the way through, because I would be like, if I get onto my computer and this isn't perfect, then I'll have to go and set all up again and do it all again. So we better do it 4 times just in case. So, and then the first take was probably the best one. So now I'm just trying to kind of say what I gotta say. If I make a mistake, it's common that people make mistakes, that's life. And it has made me such more of a happier and definitely healthier person, because it's made me be a bit more free. It's made me enjoy what I do more. I live in an incredible, see, there was a mistake. I'll just stop then and filmed again. I live in an incredible world where I have a great job that I love doing. I really appreciate it, but I took the fun out of that. And it's so nice to be able to enjoy what I do again. And it's just such a good feeling when you can kind of be a bit more free. So if anyone has questions on CBT, I'm sure people might have questions that I may have not answered because there is so many factors to it. And like I said, people will always take a different path. You have to, I think a very, very important thing is, first of all, you need to be committed to doing it. You need to be committed to opening yourself up, letting yourself go, being honest. That is the biggest thing. Don't try and hide things, because if you hide things from your therapist, how can they help you? They're there to know everything and move forward with everything that you've got, and leave the bad behind and move forward a new version of yourself. And also, it's your relationship with your therapist. Now, that's what my friend said to me, who has constant therapy. She said, on your first session, you need to realize if you have a relationship, if you have a connection, a bond with your therapist or not. Because if you just don't feel like you connect with them, if you don't feel like they can relate or they can help you, you need to ask for someone else, because you have to have that connection with your therapist, which I did. She was great. She was a really lovely woman. She was happy to listen. We had fun as well. Like, she'd hear stories that I'd say and she'd laugh. And it was like kind of talking to a friend that I just met, but that was there to help me. So yeah, I think they're very important things. But if you do have any questions at all, please pop them down in the comments box below. Or if you want to make it personal and you don't want it like private, I'll pop my Instagram down in the description box below. Just come over to my Instagram, pop me a message, private DM, and I'll try and get back to you. And if you are thinking about doing it, this video really was for me to just come on and tell you my personal journey that I went on. It really did help. I'm glad I took that jump, because I think there's nothing that could go wrong. If you did it, you're only going to realize things about yourself. You're only working on yourself, and the only way you can move forward is if you take those sort of jumps. So I didn't want to come on and give you all the nitty-gritty and what CBT is completely, because I didn't really understand it fully myself. I was just recommended that that was what I needed to do. For me, it wasn't therapy about my pasts, because just to finish this video off, I know I've had in my past some shit that has happened. I've had bad exes that have beaten me up. I've done videos on them before. I've had family matters where my brother had leukemia for 6 years. He was very poorly. And things have happened in the family where maybe I felt like I needed to crave attention, maybe I felt like I needed to be perfect. There was so many things that have gone on in my life that I was trying to maybe blame those situations for the reasons why I was. And maybe all of those things did have a key factor into why I was having these anxiety and depressions and stuff. But there's no point reflecting on what's gone on in the past. There's no point blaming the past. You have to move forward, and you have to think about, how can I move forward with this? How can I create a brighter future, rather than just keep thinking about these pasts? And that's why they don't like to just sit there and talk about your past experiences. They just touch base on them because it isn't about the past. It's about moving forward and creating a new life, a new path, a happier life, and just kind of not reflecting on the past all the time. So yeah, there is kind of my little scenario on CBT. I hope it did help anyone that had questions about it, anyone that's kind of just flicked onto this video and doesn't know me. I hope it gave you kind of a good understanding in what CBT can do for you. Yeah, like I said, don't forget to ask me some questions if you want. I'm here to help. Please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll hopefully, if you subscribe, see you next week on another can't even get my words out now, but I'm going to carry on. I hope to see you next week on another video. If you subscribed, take care guys. See you then.